start. Trust in your heart, that's the measure of a man.
Everybody's here. We're starting a brand new episode tonight of Malden Talks. This is your very good host, Joe Gray. And I have a special guest tonight, a guy named Jerry Leone. He lives right here in Ward 6. He's my neighbor, and he's got a whole lot of interesting things to talk about. Jerry Leone is running for counselor at large, and he's got all kinds of interesting topics. He's got positions, and he's going to tell us about some of the things he's working on. Now, Jerry, I hear one of the great topics, well, after you introduce yourself, is that you want to help reduce traffic. Can you tell us about yourself and start us off with your ideas for traffic?
Well, Joe, I'd like to thank you for inviting me. This is a cool idea you have. And I want to say hi to Malden and all the folks watching. And I don't know if there's any new people that watch these episodes, but if you're brand new or if you've watched Joe and you know who I am, I'm Jerry Leone, running for counselor at large, like Joe mentioned. I'm a lifelong resident of Webster Street. Went through all the Malden public schools. I served this country in the United States Air Force Security Forces, and I served on the school committee for 2 terms. I ran unsuccessfully 2 years ago for city council. These 2 years off made me, people may think I'm crazy, but made me miss politics. So I want to jump back in the game because I think Malden is not heading in a direction that the right direction, I guess. And to the first question you asked, part of the problem we face in Malden is traffic. I mean, a lot of people, you hear it online, social media, people complain. Mm-hmm. Especially Malden Square is too congested. I think the majority reason of this traffic, which segues into one of my other topics, is there's just too many apartments being built. A lot of people.
Well, that's interesting. That too many apartments being built, but with the population increasing, I don't know where we go with that.
Well, I mean, that's true. I mean, Malden. Some people say Malden is a very transitional city. A lot of people come in, couples, they move into these condos, and then when they're ready to start a family, some families don't stay, and they leave. But I know when I was on the school committee, I remember the city council would say that when the developers proposed these ideas, they would say that there would be no children moving in. Built,
I remember that.
They're built, and then there's, the city is just too, when you have too much apartments and not enough money's coming in, it just chokes the life out of,
mm-hmm.
When you have a fire pit and you put it out, it suffocates it. This is going to affect schools, the fire department, and the police department and teachers. One of the things that, and again, I love how I keep segueing into different topics, is when I was on the school committee, a lot of complaints that I heard from parents was the classroom sizes too crowded, and they're right. And I wish overnight we could have come up with an answer. But to my knowledge, the only school that we have in Malden that was fit to add on maybe 2 additional classrooms was Forestdale. The way
my observation on some of this is it isn't just Malden, it's the entire state.
Yeah.
When I go around, I-95, Route 128, into all these communities, in downtown Boston, the Roxbury, Dorchester area, they're high-rise, massive apartment complex. Even in the South Bay convention area, whole neighborhoods are popping up everywhere, all over the state. It's not just Malden. It's nice to not want more apartments, but it's sort of like, how do you stop progress? I mean, that's interesting, but...
I mean, I don't know if the city council will, if elected, I don't know if the city council puts they vote in, maybe a certain amount of years, no more people, because at some point there has to be a cap. You can't sustain this, you can't have everything.
That's kind of difficult, I think, when there's so much infrastructure going in, like the
Yeah.
casino. There's a demand
Yeah.
somewhere. Somebody's filling up those places. But let's move on. We don't have all night. You mentioned one of your issues is concerning the fire station on the east side. Can you tell us more about that?
Yeah, my long-term vision for Malden is, some people call it a pipe dream. Some people call it just a regular dream, but I call it an actual reality if it's done right.
Mm-hmm.
We lost the fire station a couple of years ago, and we don't have any. I guess if you want to say we have something on this side, it's shared with Revere.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess there was an issue with an emergency, and it took, 10 minutes was too long, and that could have been. I guess they were doing a study. I don't know if that was caused by traffic again. But 10 minutes is too long in an emergency. So my vision is a fire station and a new school, public school. And the only ways that we can work towards this goal is if we bring in more businesses. Now, I
know
feel
that's something else you're championing.
Yeah.
What are your ideas for getting more businesses in the city? Because that seems like a nebulous sort of goal.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up. We need to attract businesses. So, and that again, I guess I'm using the word tonight segue. Lessen the burden of the taxes. Maybe businesses pay a less tax that they do now to invite, businesses back. And I remember I was little, like I said, my whole life, Malden Square had a movie theater, and before that, Malden Square may have had two more. Malden used to be an industrial boom, and Elijah Converse was the first mayor. Rubber shoe factory. Malden was known for a lot of its factories, and we've lost that. Malden Square, Pleasant Street, now as you know, it's reopened. That used to be a booming, happening place on a Saturday night. The past few years, it's been a ghost town. I know we have restaurants. We need more. We need more of maybe a movie theater. We used to have a Maplewood Square, a cobbler. We still have a meat market that's been there since the 50s.
And a fish market.
Fish market. We used to have a bakery. Nelson's Bakery.
Oh, that would be awesome if we had a bakery.
Because a lot of people don't know. I know a lot of people know that Edgeworth. Since I'm running at large, Edgeworth was predominantly Italian and Irish at one time. Maplewood, a lot of people don't know, was predominantly Scandinavian. And that's why at the end of my street, Webster Street, meeting Church Street, we have a Lutheran church that was built by German settlers when they came in the 1900s.
I got a secret for you. I got one of those genetic test things done earlier this year, and I found out that I'm part Scottish, Irish, and Wales. Somewhere in the 7% range.
I did that, and I got less than 1% Irish.
More than you.
Yeah. But those are cool. So, like I said, Malden is made up of very diverse people, and we could really move forward. 2 out of 3 of my opponents are former members of the school committee, but I don't remember. And if you remember them saying this, then please share with us. But I don't remember them ever saying they were doing anything to look at the classroom sizes. To me, they've sided with developers to bring in. Another thing I didn't add to the list was if I was on the city council at the time and I got a chance to vote, I would vote on a height limit of buildings. Our fire ladders can only go 7 stories.
Speaking of which, the buildings and the children in the schools, one of the topics you seem to be championing or talking about are the lead pipes.
Yes.
This is confusing for all the citizens around town, and an average person like me sometimes wonders, when is that going to be resolved?
Well, we have, if people have been following, there's been speculation that we were charged too high on the water bill. So if that's true, that surplus of money should be going towards that right away. I mean, I have priorities, and lead pipe is fixing the lead pipes. I know some are older than others, but the debate is, do you fix the ones that are older first, or do you fix a certain amount in each ward? Because if you fix only one ward's pipes, the other wards have to wait. So I think the fairest way is fix as many as possible with the money, if we have that, and spread it out. Fix a few, you know, in each ward at a time. I mean, I don't know what the current plan is because I'm not on the city council. I know it keeps changing, but these are, you know, I know different city councilors. My opponents have their different priorities, which I won't name, but I have mine.
That's okay. We're talking about you, and it's nice to know that people are still working on this. I heard various times their plans, but I'm not sure what the plans are either. But I get the feeling that this problem isn't going away because we have to take care of our children. So let's wrap this up. I know it's getting late. This is Joe Gray, Malden Talks, and we're gonna get some final words from our candidate here, Jerry Leone. And why don't you say a few words to help close us out, Jerry?
Again, I want to thank Joe Gray and everybody watching. You know, the more people that watch, the more, you know, this entices Joe to do this, and it's good for the candidates. In closing, I'm not going to say this because I'm in the race, but this could possibly be the most important race Malden has in recent years because we have a mayoral race. A lot of people are jumping in the races for a reason. They want change. I have a vision. Like I said, I don't think the city is moving in the right direction that I see, and we need real common sense fixes to these problems. And I just think that I'm going up against the establishment, and I'm bringing in common sense, you know, ideas. I like to serve this community again, like I serve this country and the city. And if this goes out before Saturday, I'll close with, I invite everyone to Franny's, 10 to noon, to sign nomination papers. And I look forward to meeting you around the city, and vote Jerry Leone. Visit my website, voteleone.com. Thank you.
And that's a wrap. Good night, everybody.
Good night.